Okay, we're here with NestWise, Jimmy Mortgage. Let's talk about it. I'm here with Chris, and we're going to talk about real estate, what we love so much.
How you doing, Jimmy?
What's going on, man? How are you?
I feel great being here. This is an amazing studio you have here.
Thank you, thank you. We're just going to have some fun,
Yeah.
talk about some of the things that are happening in the real estate world, that ups and downs, left and right, and just let the world know, or those who we follow or are our peers, right?
Yep.
Whatever that, or however you want to call it. Talk about what we see or what the potentials are going to be in the real estate market right now.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit about who you are, right?
Well, a little bit about me. I've been in real estate for a little bit over 5 years now.
Okay.
I got my broker's license not too long ago.
Right.
And now I'm just trying to, work my way through this difficult market we have right now.
I wouldn't say difficult. I just, we love the challenge, right?
Well, not everybody likes a challenge. That's the thing.
Right. That's true.
I like the challenge. People ask all the time when they know you're in real estate, is now a good time to buy?
Right.
Is now a good time to sell?
Right.
What's the answer? And usually it's when you're ready, right?
Correct.
So if there's a change in your family,
right,
there's a need to expand or downsize.
Right.
So that's the good time. That's when it's a good time to buy or sell is the answer, really, right?
Yeah, pretty much. It's what you're making, what you're doing, and how your family structure is at that time, given your circumstances, right?
Yeah.
So kind of makes sense.
I think most people try to make this a financial transaction and say, well, the market's crazy right now.
Right.
I'm going to wait until it dies down is what you get,
Right.
But they're just not educated enough into when is a good time to buy.
Right.
So it's up to you or the real estate agent to convince somebody that the best time is when you're ready.
Correct. Right.
Did you just get married? Are you having a baby?
Right.
Is your college kids graduating? Do you need to downsize? Those are the questions you start asking these people that are asking you those questions. You got to, when is the right time for you?
Yeah, and then that's important, right? It's almost like when you're meeting the client, the interview phase, right? It's almost, you're looking at them, they're looking at you, and you're feeling that pulse, what makes sense, and how do you want to navigate it? Because maybe the time is now, maybe the time is tomorrow, or next month, the following month, or next year, right? We don't know. It's just more or less of, what does that look like for you now? And then we establish that situation for that time for that person to purchase the home.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah, it's a win-win, right? It's just, I think the most important thing is being honest with the conversation, right? Because then it can tell you where to take them, given where they're at with their financing. Not when I say financing, with their pre-approval from financing and what's out there in the market, right?
Exactly.
That's good. Good stuff. So we'll jump right into it. What are some of the areas that you concentrate in when it comes to real estate?
I focus mostly in my neighborhood,
Okay.
which is Essex County, Nutley, Bloomfield, Belleville, Clifton,
Right.
and the surrounding areas. Ironically, I have one listing on the contract
Okay.
in Bloomfield, another, on the market in Belleville, and a listing out in North Bergen.
Okay.
So, I kind of go everywhere.
Right.
I know a lot of people, and they trust me. So I go where I'm needed, really.
Right.
Have a rental listing coming down in Piscataway, New Jersey.
Wow.
So, the more further out I go, the more MLSs that I need to
Subscribe to.
subscribe to. Exactly.
Okay.
So I'm subscribed to 4 different MLSs right now: Garden State, NJ MLS,
Right.
Hudson MLS, and now Central Jersey MLS.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
Good stuff, man. Look, it's what it is, right? If you could speak to that expertise where you can perhaps give that person that key, I mean, why not, right? And as you expand, more opportunities will always definitely represent itself, right? So that's a win-win for you. So kudos to you on that one, man. Good stuff. So given what we see in today's market, right? We've seen prices increase depending on which area you go, some more than others, right? We see the population changing in the state of New Jersey, right? More have access because more are tapping into the access point into New York City. So in the past 24 months, what have you seen, and have you seen the market shift?
I've seen the market shift. I've seen the prices either stabilize or somewhat increase, and the demand is getting stronger. Everybody thought that when interest rates went up, prices would go down, right?
Right.
That's relative.
That's the inverse relationship.
And
That's what's supposed to happen.
yeah, and
Right.
that didn't happen.
Correct.
A year ago, my client in North Bergen, he said, "What do you think is going to happen next year?" And I said, I think the prices are probably going to drop if you wait a year from now. I was like, maybe you should sell it now versus waiting next year.
Correct.
And here we are a year later. We got 40,000 more than what we expected than we did a year ago.
Right. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, you never know.
Right.
So when people say, I'm just going to wait, you don't really know what the answer is. I thought the market was going to go down a little bit,
Right.
and I was wrong. So those are some of the things that you got to consider. It's like, if there's a need, take that opportunity at the moment. But if there's not a need, just wait it out.
Right.
My client, he wasn't ready 100% because he had a home being built outside of New Jersey. So now that he's ready, things fell in the right place.
Yeah, right. He got an appreciation, 40,000 more, right? He's going out of state. He's saving
Yeah.
probably more on saving on taxes.
Mm-hmm.
In addition to that, he used you, right?
Yes.
He used your expertise to get a understanding of how much you can get in return to build on his new home. So I think you satisfied that as much as you can.
I think
right?
so. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good stuff, right? That's the good thing about you being a professional realtor that you are, right? You're the solution to that your client's needs.
Well, I think what also helps is when you market the property effectively.
Right.
He lived in the waterfront condo in North Bergen, and there's other properties, other units in the building,
right,
that are on the market, sitting on the market 45, 60 days, and you're like, why is that? They're priced comparable to what we price it at, but did he go above and beyond? Did he market the property effectively?
right,
Just this weekend we had, about 30 people coming in just to see this
okay,
in one day. Following day was Father's Day, a little bit less on Father's Day,
right,
but the traffic was there, the demand was there, and surprisingly enough, I was surprised to see how many people had cash for such property.
right. Some people have appreciation on previous properties where they're able to take that appreciation, cash, use that to leverage to purchase another property, right? Now more than ever, many are getting educated with home buying and how to leverage that asset to do different things within it, right? It's one of those things that you kind of encourage it because the value is there, right? If the value was not there, we would not be speaking of it, right? So that's a good thing in some cases. Unfortunately, sometimes those who are using cash and purchasing a property where others need a mortgage to purchase the property, it becomes a conversation. Man, I wish, but it's what it is. Again, that just goes to the point where there's just a lot of demand and less supply.
Yeah.
Until that's fixed, and
They definitely have a competitive advantage, cash buyers.
right.
But if you don't have cash, there's other strategies.
Yes, there are. Right.
One, in my opinion, is having a strong lender
Right.
like yourself.
Correct. Thank you.
Guaranteed rate. Can I say that?
Yeah.
Guaranteed
Guaranteed
rate
Infinity.
is-
Yeah. Guaranteed
I
Infinity,
hate
yeah.
to plug it, but you know what? Like, Guaranteed Rate has a great reputation,
Right.
and I think they have the power bid.
Power bid,
It's
right.
called. It's underwritten already.
Correct.
So, when you present a power bid pre-approval to a listing agent, it's almost good as cash.
Right.
Aside from the fact that you need to do appraisals and just a waiting period to
At that
get
point. Right. At that
Yeah.
point.
So one of the major advantages is to have a tool like that. Not everybody is educated enough.
Right.
Me as a listing agent, when I have multiple offers, I look for those things. Just because I have a pre-approval doesn't mean that pre-approval is going to, follow through all the way to closing.
Correct.
So just today, I got another offer for another property. I called the lender just to ask some basic questions, and I like to do this. I kind of like to filter out like the tone
Right. Right.
of the lender. Is he or she going to answer their phone or text messages in a
Right.
timely manner? Are they going to have the right answers right away? Do they know their client? When I spoke to this lender today, she knew exactly what her client made, what her job was, how long she's been there. That tells me that she knows her client.
Right. She's on top of it. Right. She did her due diligence.
Yeah.
Right.
So she did her due diligence. I did mine. Now I have a better feeling about this approval. If you just take a highest offer with, Joe Schmo mortgage lending,
Right.
and present it to your client, and then something happens down the road, you look bad.
Yeah.
And then your client's wondering, like, well, why don't you do your due diligence? Why don't you review?
Right.
I didn't know she was only working for 1 year. And some of those things,
It does happen, right? These hiccups do happen, right? You sometimes you like one may feel like, oh, I had a 3-minute conversation with someone, I'm gonna give them a pre-approval. You have to keep in mind too, a pre-approval is just as good as someone's information that you put into it, right? It has not been verified to its fullest until you've done your due diligence and appropriately put the information that needs for the proper approval. And that's some of the good things that we have. The power bid, it's almost like a commitment letter, because I checked, underwriting checked, you're gonna get those funds in an appropriate amount of time. The only thing that's gonna hold you up, like we discussed, would probably be appraisal and title. Everything else, as far as a vendor's perspective, right? That'd be the only thing holding up. But as far as going back to your financing, we've done that homework, so we're good with that. And to add to marketing, I know you talked about it. What are some of the things you're seeing with everybody's talking about it, ChatGPT? How are you leveraging intelligence to your properties and having communications around the listing and buyers, right?
If you haven't read any of my listing descriptions by now, you'll find out that it's not me writing that. I mean, there is definitely some tweaking.
Right.
You put in what you want them to say.
Correct.
But then if you read it and it's like, that's not exactly what this house is, so let me change some things around. But it's like, when you request something from AI,
right,
it adds the artistic value.
Okay.
And it's up to you to change the facts and move things around as you see fit.
So in other words, it's saving you time.
It's saving me a lot of time.
Saving you time. And
a year ago, listing description would take me about 2 to 3 days to tweak.
Right.
And there's only, I think, maybe 1,500 characters you're allowed.
Correct.
So that's something you could add in AI. You should say up to 1,500 characters, and it limits you.
And it describes the property just like that.
Exactly.
Right. It's very interesting that it does that. In addition to, it prompts to video messaging. So there's a lot of great things that it adds. And like you said, it takes out the whole preparation time, right? So you can focus on getting more brokers to this home so you can, represent your client, get the best offers as much as you can in the case of time, because time has value behind it, right? If you're putting too much into something that does not yield a return, we should focus on something else, especially with intelligence doing what it's doing to this capacity right now. It's a game changer for some. For others, they still, need to know how to use ChatGPT. It's not a cut and paste thing. I know that for sure, right? You still have to use intellectual some type of common sense, different things that will help engage conversations.
Remember when digital cameras first came out and everyone just had a camera on their phone? So people would just point and shoot pictures of a listing, and it's like, you look at those pictures, it's not so great.
Right.
And it's the same thing when you take AI and you just copy and paste, it's garbage in, garbage out.
Right.
So you got to take new technology and still use, common sense and, artistic value still.
Right.
Like I'm really picky with my pictures.
Okay.
If they're not bright enough, if the angle's not right,
Right.
if I can't visualize myself going into that house and what's over here to the left, to the right, in front of me,
Right.
that doesn't work for me. I need to take another picture. Or I like to do what's called Matterport.
Right.
Have you heard of Matterport?
Yeah, I've heard of Matterport.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like a 360 tour, and you just click here, it does a 360 all around of the room. So those are the other tools that I use to enhance my marketing.
Okay. It's good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Well, as far as real estate, thank you for taking the time to digest what you see and what sees fit in real estate. I'll leave you with this question: what do you think our Mets are going to do this year?
We're struggling, man. We're struggling. We have a lot of talent,
Right.
but we also have talent that's guaranteed income. I think that's where the problem is.
Yeah.
Where's the motivation in performing?
Right.
These guys want to perform, but it's tough. I think you're at a cap.
Right. There's only so much you're limited, right? There's only so much you can do at that point.
Same time, we're having a lot of bad luck.
Yeah.
A lot of players getting hurt.
Yeah.
Just got to get out of the slump. I think we're gonna come through this year, because last year we started strong,
Right.
and then we fell apart at the end.
I think
maybe we'll do the opposite. What do you think?
Man, I need my juju beans. All right, man. Thank you again so much, Chris. Look forward to seeing you on the streets doing what we do best, passionately giving
I prefer doing this than cold calling or any other sorts of marketing. I hope this helps.
Yeah, man. Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
All right.